The company's based down in Turnberry, as the name would suggest. It's been on the go for about 25 years. I've only been there about 4 years, but we make hand-tufted rugs. We're based in quite a quaint old building. It's an old granary building. I took this picture for 3 reasons. 1, to show you what a nice place we work in. 2, it's the only time I've ever seen them all smiling at once. And 3, you know how people sometimes have dogs that look like them? I've got a guy who tufts his hair like we tuft the rugs. See it on the top? So it's quite a strange thing. This is the basis of the whole thing. I don't know if you can see it too well, but you ladies will know that's basically an electric drill, which we adapt. And a special font is made on the front, a piece that goes on the front, which does the actual tufting. It's made by a German company, and can you see that too well? They're not very clear, are they? Basically what's happening here is that you can see that shadowy figure there. He's the one with the strange hair. He's holding the gun, and what you should see here is a whole stream of threads coming out which go through the gun. The gun acts with pneumatic pressure and forces it through a big canvas that's on that wall. We hang a canvas that looks like a cinema screen. Once it's all been done, because it's only a mechanical action, the tuft is sitting in there and it's only held there. So what we have to do is coat the whole of that screen with what looks like it's an artificial latex. So we coat the whole thing and put a secondary backing, and that holds all the threads in. Now you can see, I'm glad I brought this now, that's the kind of thing that we tuft. You can see the structures you can get from it. It can tuft quite up to 60 millimeters, and this particular one, it's a J tuft, to give you a lot of base in the rug and height. So it's a very flexible type of machine. This is the other thing, this is the lower one, this is only 15 millimeters pile height. You can see with the same gun quite a difference you can make in the structure of the products. And any variation of that between those two can be achieved in different pile heights and different structures. You can see in there's quite a lot of different types of yarns in there to give you the structure. Well, it's difficult to see, but that's actually what happens when we're taking the rugs down from the frame. They're laid on the floor, and they are a little bit jagged when they first come down. So on these smooth ones here, we use what looks like a lawnmower. You can see him there, and what he does is he works his way over that and he trims all the edges off. So at the end of the day, it looks like a very fine and well sculpted lawn. That particular one is a combination of pile and loop, so it looks as if it's a bit more like a ploughed field. The long tube is just taking away the excess. The other thing we do on a lot of rugs, you can imagine that if the pile height is quite high, when you move it with your hand, the structure changes. So in order to get a more defined pattern, what we do is we use what's basically just a hand carver like men use for shaving, etc. And what we do is we just work our way through that. Does anyone recognise that? That's Aquascutum's new headquarters in London, and that's a rug we made for them there, which did look quite good in the picture originally. So we do a lot of commercial work. This is a rug which we've just finished and has gone to the Australian ambassador in Moscow. He's so pleased with it, he's asked us now to make a 90 square metre rug. It is huge. You can imagine just an area carpet, 90 square metres, and he's bought some Aboriginal art so that we now have to copy and put into the rug. This is a cube design. I don't know if you can make it out too close from there. Interesting we use Shetland wool in this particular rug, not the blue area, that's dyed, but the other 2 areas are made from natural Shetland wool, which is very good for making rugs because it's extremely springy and is very good. As a little aside, it's the only bit you remember, every member of the Everest team in 1953 had a pullover made of Shetland wool. This one I thought I'd bring in just so I could pause and you could admire its sheer beauty. It's a series of rings. You can see the effect of doing the carving on those. You can see how it tends to make the design a little bit more stand out, and it makes the lines on it much more rigid. This one is in the Burns Centre down at Alloway. This was a cooperation we did with Timorous Beasties. That tapestry there is over 7 metres long and 4 metres, and it depicts all kinds of work done by all the works by Robert Burns, as you'd expect in the Robert Burns Museum. And now this is interesting. This is all, anyone recognise that? It's the selvage from Johnson's making cashmere scarves. I went to a waste thing and they said, what can you do with stuff? And this girl said, we throw away tons of selvage. So I thought we could maybe tough that. So we get it down in a big bag, we sort it all out on the floor, you get Burberry, Barber, you name it, and we make beautiful rugs like that out of waste cashmere selvage. So if anyone would like one, speak to me afterwards. So it's a good use of, that's cashmere coming alive again, and it really is, they come out so, it's just wonderful what you can do with a piece of selvage, how it transforms into such a beautiful product. Why is that one on longer? 20 seconds, there we are. Now this one's quite interesting. This is, now what we do with this is quite different. This is a design we do for a Danish company. We take wool rope that looks like this, and we run it up and down on hooks, okay, up and down, so we make a big, what looks like a cage or a barcode. And then we buy in this felt, which has got slits in it, see it? Like this. And we run along and weave it through, and oh, what a pity this. And it comes out not like a black mass, but like a beautiful eggshell finish, and it's just wonderful. I'm going to sue you. What a pity. Right, well, and now this is the final one, and you can't see it either. It's, I've made a runner, which looks like the Google map, and what I've done is, it's for when you come in your front door, it's a long runner, and when you come in, there's the little red dot, you know, and the little red dot and shape, and the bit going back, and all those roads you can see on there, and in the same colours as the Google map, it's just above Central Station. We've arrived, so have you. Thank you much.